All righty, we are here. This is the Brave, Bold, Unstoppable Woman Virtual Summit. And we're just having a little jazz play in the background, and hopefully people will start popping in. But if they don't, that's okay, because we are going to be live streaming this on Facebook. And let's see how this all works out. And here we go. Let's see. The meeting is being live streamed on Facebook. So as this loads up and we're just getting in the celebratory kind of experience with regards to our virtual summit today. Welcome to the Brave, Bold, and Unstoppable Women's Virtual Summit. I am Rochelle Marie Lawson, known as the Queen of Feeling Fabulous. And I'm welcoming all of you that can see us, that can hear us, that is listening, that might be working and double dipping, so to speak. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is going to be a short, sweet virtual summit that's going to give you lots of nuggets of gold. And then we have an invitation for you to join us at one of our upcoming live events. We'll tell you more about that in a little bit, but it will be something that you definitely want to be. If you're a woman entrepreneur looking to build and expand your business empire, then you definitely want to be in the house at our live events, because they are very powerful. They're very transformative, and you leave with an abundance. I say a bag, a purse, a Gucci purse full of nuggets of gold that you can incorporate into your business immediately and see the results. So just to get started, again, I'm Rochelle Marie Lawson, known as the Queen of Feeling Fabulous, and I'm just going to jump in and share some expertise and some words of wisdom for you. Kind of want to do just a quick introduction of what's going to partake in the summit today while you're here with us. And so here we go. So the mission of the Brave, Bold, and Unstoppable Women Summit are to really connect women around the globe and allow them to no longer apologize for being that brave, bold, unstoppable chick that we all are meant to be. It's about connecting, collaborating, inspiring, empowering, motivating, and creating a community that is filled with whatever you need in that community, or whatever you need is in that community, and you can reach out to someone to help you. It's about building strength within our own communities as well as our businesses, and taking that and supporting other women to stand in their greatness, and again, without being apologetic for it. Also, it's about including our women veterans, our forgotten heroes out there that are self-sacrificing themselves for our country, and we don't hear their stories, we don't see them on television, and they do not get the recognition or accolades for being those unstoppable, brave women that allow us to stay safe as well. Just like the fellas, we've got women out there doing the same thing, but we don't hear their stories. So it's all about bringing all women from all walks of life together to support each other so that we can change the world to make it a better place. And again, it's not about circumventing any of the men's greatness that they do, but it's time for us women to stand up and come together and unite on a forefront where we're empowering each other and supporting each other from where we are to where we want to be, where we desire to be. And I want to say, I've kind of got this theme in my head that it's almost like a good old boys network, but it's a good old gals network. In fact, that We are not catty about what we're doing. We really are coming from our heart and soul to support another sister, to lift her up, to whether she wants to be a 5, 6, 7, or 8-figure business owner, to lift her up and allow her to be in our circle and allow our circles to surround them so that, again, we can stand in our greatness without being apologetic, that we can support each other, not only the women in the United States, but women around the world. And so that we can hear each other's stories and learn from each other's trials and tribulation. That really does help to uplift us and elevate us and put us on a whole different platform. Now, the objective of today's summit is just to give you a little taste. It's like the appetizer before the main meal. The main meal, of course, is the live event, and the next live event will be happening in Atlanta, Georgia on Saturday, October 14th at the downtown Hyatt Regency Hotel in downtown Atlanta. We are gonna bring it, and my speakers and myself, we're ready to just basically turn Atlanta out, if that makes sense. We're gonna turn it out. We're gonna have fun. We did that in DC, and that was just the start. But now we rolling into Atlanta. And I know in Georgia, y'all like to play big or go home. And so us ladies, we gonna play real, real big. We're gonna have our 5-inch stilettos on, our crowns, and we gonna rock that catwalk like Naomi Campbell, like nobody can do it. And we're going to uplift all of you in attendance. So this virtual summit is just to give you a little taste. And one of the speakers for the summit is going to be sharing the stage with me today and share some nuggets of gold that will help you to go forward in your life with more bliss, more peace, more gratitude, more health and well-being. And here's a good thing that us women tend to forget, making sure you put yourself first so that you can be there for those that you love and care about and that are requiring your support. Okay, so you got to put yourself first, ladies. So often we put ourselves last, and at the end of that day, we have no time for ourselves, and it just becomes a domino effect. And as someone that values wellness, wisdom, and wealth, your greatest wealth is your health and well-being. Without that, you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have health and well-being, you can't really live the life of your dreams, and you definitely can't enjoy every aspect of that ecstasy that's caught up in living and having the life of your dreams. Now, I'm going to talk about the importance of having your destiny by design. And the reason why this is so very important, and I'm just going to bring up the slide for that. The reason why this is so important is because yeah, you can be successful and have destiny by default, but when you have destiny by design, it helps to really, really amplify and elevate everything that you do. So I'm just going to do a little screen share. I'm just going to share my screen a little bit. I'm going to try to share my screen and allow you to see exactly what we've got going on here. So right now, Destiny by Design, unlocking the unlimited possibilities for business success is what I'm going to be talking about. And in this next few moments, hopefully you'll be able to capture some nuggets of gold that will definitely help you to step into, how can I say, really, really living the life of your dreams and having that business success that you desire. So let me just jump in because I'll just keep talking. Let me silence the music and we'll get it going back in a few minutes. But right now, I want to, again, jump into Destiny by Design. And there's 2 ways we can do this. Destiny by Design is either the way you do it when you have vision or by default. And I want to share a story with you about me and my business. When I first started my first business, I was young and it was like, hey, I could start a business. We can do this. We can do this. We can create a business, and had no idea of all the bells and whistles and the moving parts. It's like being in a car, a new car, I want to say a Maserati. No, let me take it up a bit, a Bentley, and having all these bells and whistles and knowing how to drive, but not knowing how the bells and whistles function within that vehicle to make that vehicle absolutely your dream ride. So I started a business. Yes, it was successful right off the bat. But it was a business that was started by default. You see, I didn't have a vision for the business. So I had really nowhere to guide me on my destination or on my journey to growing that business. And the business took off immensely. It grew way beyond what I ever expected and quicker than I ever imagined or it was even prepared for. Again, I just said, let's just start a business. Didn't know that I would have to deal with human resource issues or customer delay paying issues or sales and marketing. And this was all before the internet, all before the computer industry or the computer age that we have today. And so it was really going out and learning by default, learning what I didn't know and learning what I needed to know in order to keep that business growing and being successful. The other side of that is when you have a business that is designed, when you design your business to be a vehicle for the destiny that you want to take your business to, then it becomes a lot more simpler. Having a vision for your business is extremely, extremely important because that vision allows you to structure a mission. And within that mission, it allows you to create objectives that allow you to stay on target for where you want to go. For instance, if you are looking to take your business from 5-figure to 6-figure, and you have a vision of what that entails for you, and it has to be pretty precise and as detailed as possible to make it be that much more effectively and efficiently for you to achieve what it is that you desire within that business. When you have that strategically lined up, then you're able to hold yourself accountable for things that you want to acquire. For instance, hiring key personnel. You have a vision of what you want and who you want in specific positions. That makes a difference versus just hiring because so-and-so said Sally Jane needs a bit, she worked in sales and she lost her job, and you hire Sally Jane and realize Sally Jane, she worked in sales, but she was not the sales manager and she was not the sales assistant. She actually was an admin in sales. And so her knowledge about sales is good, but it's not the type of knowledge that you want to place someone in a key position that's going to be running your sales department. Another aspect is hiring qualified people within my telecom company, hiring qualified individuals for specific position makes the difference versus just hiring by default because you need somebody to fill a position and then realize that that person is actually more detrimental to the success of the project or the success of the business versus if I would have had the vision and would have known what I needed to hire and put in that key position, then it would have been a lot simpler. So having a business by design allows you to circumvent a lot of challenges. There are always going to be challenges as a business owner, and there are things we can foresee and things we can't foresee. No one foreseen COVID coming. In 2019, we were jamming in business. Everybody was ebbing and flowing. Everything was up. The stock market's up. The interest rates were down. Everybody was making money and everything was jiving. And then 2020 hit and the whole game for business changed. If you were a business that were used to going out and having direct contact with your customers, well, when COVID hit, you couldn't do that. A lot of people had to shut their doors because they had to, one, they couldn't do the business the way they used to do it. And two, they had no idea on how to thrive and survive in an atmosphere where you could no longer have one-to-one or personal contact with your customers because everybody was remote working and we were locked down. So it's some of these things that when you have a business design for your destiny, that you can pivot when it's absolutely necessary and have a game plan when things such as something like COVID happens or the workforce changes or you have an abundance of women leaving the workforce to start their own businesses, and that leaves holes and gaps in your business that you need to fill, but now you don't have the qualified personnel that are available, and so you kind of got to start from scratch. Having a game plan, as they say, as they do in sports, even though it looks like the athletes go out there and they just play. There's a game plan from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. And there's all kinds of scenarios that they run through just in case these scenarios happen. Having a business created with destiny by design allows you to have strategies in place so that when things happen, you can pivot, you can make the necessary changes, adjustments that you need, and you can keep moving forward with grace and success. And that is what I want to share with regards to having a business design for your destiny. Now, with regards to the landscape of women entrepreneurs, again, COVID was a major game changer. Back in the day when I started my first business, there were women entrepreneurs, and I was surrounding myself with as many successful women entrepreneurs as possible. But it was kind of like this hidden little secret until one day in the Silicon Valley, they released the top 50 women-owned businesses in Silicon Valley. And when I saw that list for the first time, it became a game changer for me because it told me that women have power. We can do whatever it is we want to do that we set our heart and souls to, and we can be successful. And it's time for men to recognize that we are a pivotal part of the success of all male-dominated industries. Behind every CEO that was a male, there was a badass woman, assistant, admin, right-hand person behind that person that allowed that person to stand in their greatness. So I want to give you some information with regards to the landscape for women entrepreneurs. And I'm going to let you know that statistics and the trends, this is the latest data I have from 2021, are as follow. Business ownership in the United States, women-owned businesses represents 42% of all businesses, and they employ about 9.4 million workers, generating $1.9 trillion. The growth between 2014 and 2019 with regards to women-owned businesses increased by 21% compared to 9% of all other businesses. Now, sector distribution. Women entrepreneurs often find opportunities in healthcare, social assistance, and education. And about 64% of new women-owned businesses were in one of these three sectors in 2019. Now, the impact of COVID-19 was huge for all business, male-owned, women-owned, all business owners. And women were disproportionately impacted by the pandemic. Many had to close their businesses temporarily or permanently due to they had family care needs, responsibilities for taking care of their parents or their children or other family members, and that with regards to the impact of COVID-19, they could not sustain their businesses. And so they either had to permanently close down or close down temporarily. Now, access to capital. Women entrepreneurs generally receive 3% of the venture capital funding, which has been a persistent issue for growth among women entrepreneurs. Global trends with women businesses. Globally, women entrepreneur rates are going up, and they are going up 10% plus each year, meaning that more women are getting into being women entrepreneurs and owning their own businesses more than ever, anytime in the history of our country. And I think that is beautiful, and I think it's powerful. And I think that with the rise in women entrepreneurships, we're going to see the landscape change across the board for just the whole business industry. Leadership gaps. Despite the growing number of women-owned businesses, women still only make up 5 to 6% of the CEOs at S&P 500 companies. That's pretty sad. That's a pretty sad statistic. So that means that 94 to 95% of those Fortune 500 S&P companies are ran by men, but yet women we're the fastest growing entity when it comes to business ownership in the United States. ethnic diversity, women of color accounted for 50% of all women who owned businesses in 2019, a number that is still on the rise, but still faces significant systemic barriers. I was watching Gayle King's show with the fellows on the other day, and they were talking to a woman that is the CEO and founder of a venture capital fund for women entrepreneurs. And what was really surprising was that although there's all this money out there that venture capitalists utilize and invest in other companies, the disparity between women getting venture capital funds was like less than 1%. And to me, that's sad. We have a statistic that says that 94 to 95% of the companies that are Fortune 500 companies are ran by men. Women happen to be the fastest growing segment of entrepreneurs, but yet we're getting less than 1% of venture capital funding for our businesses. But we're still doing it. We're still paving the trail. We're still trailblazing that pathway, and we're still creating our businesses. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if we were able to even just to tap into 10% of that venture capital funding that is accessible to those 94 to 95% Fortune 500 companies that are owned and ran by men? Just food for thought on my part. Just like to throw that stuff in there. And then social entrepreneurship. Women are increasingly present in social enterprises, with studies suggesting that they make up 40% of leadership in these types of organizations. So here we have a statistic that says, 94 to 95% of those companies are ran by men, but women make up 40% of some of the leadership roles in those companies, but they're not the top leaders. So women, if you're watching me, if you're hearing me, if you're looking at me, if you can see what I'm talking about in the midst of your mind, we are powerful. We matter. We are the glue that holds things together for some of these companies that are ran by men, and we are valuable. Just think, if that 40% of those women that are in those leadership roles took themselves out of those leadership roles and created their own businesses, what would happen to those companies? Just again, food for thought. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to stir up some stuff, because that's what being a brave, bold, and unstoppable woman is all about. Stirring up some stuff so that we can understand the value that we have, not just being a mom, a wife, a supporting significant other, whatever that may be, but the value that we bring to business, the value that we bring to the economics of the United States and globally around the world. This is not just women in the United States. This is women around the world that bring value to the global economy. Okay. Now, challenges that we face as women entrepreneurs are as follows, and I mentioned one: access to capital. Women-owned businesses typically start with less capital than male-owned businesses and struggle to secure more financing from venture capitalists. Why is that? I want to ask a fella, if a man is out here watching, why is that? Why do we have to struggle to get that money from venture capitalists? Why is it not a more even playing field? Gender bias. Many women entrepreneurs face implicit and explicit gender biases in various industries, particularly in sectors traditionally dominated by men. Example, let me share this story with you. I started one of the first women-owned, minority-owned telecommunications installation companies in the Western region of the United States, or I'd say in the United States. And when I started that business in a male-dominated industry that was a good old boys network, I went to a networking event and was surrounded by these gentlemen who I thought were going to support me and say, girl, go, kudos to you for doing this business and making it and helping it to be successful. But instead, I was bombarded with questions as to why I did it, how I did it, who I did it, who was the man that was really the face of the company, where did I get my education? Oh, I must have bought my degree. And I was also told that we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that you don't succeed. Who do you think you are coming to play in a good old boys network like the construction industry? One guy even told me, I guarantee in 2 years, you'll be out of business. Now, for me, that was like a challenge because I'm like, oh, y'all don't know this girl. And yes, my partner was my husband, or my, partner in business is my husband, male, for sure. But I didn't take that lightly because the business was actually my ideal. The business was actually something that I envisioned us doing it. The business was actually something that I strived to be successful in. And the business was actually something that I knew that once our customers get a hold of us, that they would not want to let us go. And I'm happy to say that almost 34 years later, we are still commanding it in that industry. And I am still the majority shareholder of that corporation. And our customers love us. And we've had customers that have been with us from the inception of the business, and some that have been with us at least 25 years or more. So yes, there is still gender biases. And if you're a woman that's in an industry that's male dominated and you face some gender bias, girl, put your high heels on, straighten your crown, and just keep on walking with your head up. As Lizzle said, head up, check your nails, and say, baby, how you doing? Because I'm going to be successful, no matter with your help or without your help, because I've got a community of brave, bold, and unstoppable women that are going to help me to be successful, no matter where I am on my journey. Now, work-life balance. The expectation that women should shoulder more responsibilities at home can make balancing a career and a personal life very challenging. A lot of times that is placed upon women to handle the kids and handle everything at home, in addition to having a job or running a business. So it can be quite challenging. Limited networks. Traditionally male-dominated industries can sometimes make it difficult for women to find mentors, my experience, or business networks, crucial for the early stages of support and growth. So here I was in the construction industry, reached out to the construction community and was not getting any support. And then it became a game changer for me when I reached out to a woman-owned, created organization that supported women, the National Association of Women Business Owners, the Silicon Valley chapter. And that is where I found other women that had businesses way larger than mine, but I found other women that were willing to support me, to show me the things that I needed to learn, that I didn't know I needed to learn, to introduce me to people that I needed to meet, that were key players in Silicon Valley, that could open doors where once before those doors were closed, that allow me to get educated, that also showed me where I was flawed with regards to the freckles I have on my face that I couldn't see, but they could see. And they're like, hey, we just want to let you know, and we want to guide you, and we want to help uplift you. That is what a community, a supported community, can do for you. And I am so thankful that I came across the National Association of Women Business Owners, NABO, Silicon Valley, and the national chapter, and many other organizations such as Women's Presidents Organization and WOO that help women stand in their greatness and be the best damn women entrepreneurs they could possibly be in their sectors, and allow them to stand in grace and not be apologetic, but also allow them to get the education, access to capital, access to mentors, access to opportunities that they may have never be able to get if they stay closed or try to penetrate a male-dominated organization for support. Underrepresentation. Women entrepreneurs are still underrepresented in high growth industries such as technology, finance, which can create barriers to entry and scaling. There's self-doubt, societal conditioning often discourages women from taking risks or being assertive, impacting their decision-making in business. Be as assertive as you want to, women. Be as assertive as hell, and don't be apologetic for it, because your success and the success of your business is dependent upon you doing that. No one's going to just open the doors for you, particularly men, as we have seen, but you can go in and open the doors for yourself. And so do not, again, be apologetic for that. Here's the thing, wage gaps. Despite doing comparable work, women entrepreneurs often earn less than their male counterparts, affecting reinvestment in their business. Even successful women-owned businesses often face challenges in scaling up, in part due to limited access, again, to resources and capital. Niche markets, women entrepreneurs can tap into markets and the needs that may be overlooked by male entrepreneurs, offering unique solutions that opens up another whole avenue of income stream and revenue for women business owners. Let's see, stronger teams. Research shows that companies with diverse leadership often outperform those without, offering women a chance to leverage skills. Again, the impact with women. I'm going to say it again, diverse leaderships that include women. These companies often outperform those companies that don't have the diverse leaderships that include women. Emotional intelligence. Studies suggest on average, women score higher in emotional intelligence competencies, which can be leveraged for better team management and customer relations. Increased visibility. The rise in awareness and discussions around women in business has led to more platforms, grants, and resources specifically aimed at supporting women entrepreneurs. As consumers' preferences shift towards more socially responsible brands, women entrepreneurs are often aligning with these values and have unique opportunities to meet these demands. And the global market, women entrepreneurs are increasingly taking their business global, leveraging the interconnectedness of modern world with new reaches to new markets around the world. And lastly, I want to say peer support. The rise of women-focused networking groups and incubators offer unprecedented peer support, often cited as invaluable by women, as I just shared with my story. So, as promised, I'm going to drop some more wisdom on you all, and then we will let my beautiful speaker, Suzanne, drop some more nuggets of gold on you, and then we're going to close it out because I want to honor your time. And so I want to say that I promise that I'm going to give you 3 distinct takeaways and nuggets of gold that you can take away immediately after watching this virtual summit, and incorporate into any aspect of your business or your career that will definitely give you results. Now, the first thing is the power of mindset. And because I'm a person that specializes in wellness, wisdom, and wealth, wisdom is mindset. That's how I term it. You have to be wise to understand the mindset of your own psyche, what you are fearful of, how well you'll push yourself, and what you can do when your resilience and your determination and your persistence keeps you going forward, even in the midst of you not feeling that type of way. So the power of mindset is absolutely important. When I was a little girl, I was told, if you want to do something and you put your heart and soul and your mind to it, whatever it is that you want to do will become a reality. But if you're half-assed doing it, if your mind is not fully involved, if your mindset is not right, if you're doing it to appease others, if you're doing it just to be boastful, then you're not in the right mindset. And you may have success, but eventually that success will turn into lessons learned. I don't like to say failures, but lessons learned that can ultimately lead to being extremely challenging. So why does mindset matter? Mindset is the glue that keeps you going when things get tough. When I first started that business way back in 1989, 90, I had the mindset that we could start a business. But when things got tough, I was challenged with that mindset, and I began to doubt whether I could be a successful business owner. It matters that you keep your mindset tight and do not let the naysayers in your own mind, as well as externally, infiltrate into that. It's almost like a cancer. Once cancer infiltrates into the body, it sets up its little spot and gets warm and cozy, and it begins to grow. The thing with cancer is, though, it's such a stupid disease because it actually kills its host. And without the host, it cannot continue to thrive. That's what a negative mindset will do for you. It will come into you and you'll start having these doubts and these fears, or these perceived fears and doubts. And if you allow it to set up in your mind and allow your mind to become that host, then it will begin to take over, and you'll start seeing things from a negative perspective versus a positive perspective. You'll start seeing that you can't do something versus you can do something. You start seeing challenges as insurmountable versus this is just something I've got to get through. And so mindset is the number one thing that matters when it comes to not only starting a business, but having sustained business success. Being a business owner is not easy. It's not from the faint at heart, and it's not for every woman or man out there. You see, because if it was, we would all have our own businesses and there'd be a gazillion businesses, which is why some of the most successful women and men hire people under them that will allow them to have that vision and be that visionary person, but allow those that have the fortified skills and the wherewithal to operate other aspects of their business. For instance, Elon Musk started Tesla, smart guy, but he knew that he didn't know everything about electric vehicles. He didn't know everything about running a car company. He may have had the money, but he put key people that were smarter than him in those positions that allowed Tesla to grow into the company that it is. He had the mindset to know that I can start something, but I can't be everything in the company. So I need to have the key people in place that will allow me to stay in my place as the visionary and the head, the CEO of the corporation. But those key people that I put in place will allow the business to grow, thrive, and be successful. Oprah Winfrey, same thing. Phenomenal, beautiful. I love Oprah. She is the queen. She is the queen of the billion-dollar woman syndrome, I'd like to call it. But Oprah also was the visionary. She didn't do every job in her business. She had the wherewithal and the mindset to know that she wanted to succeed and thrive and create Harpo into something that was way beyond what anybody ever expected. Remember, she couldn't get hired because they thought she was too fat and they thought she wasn't pretty enough. And here she is, a $1 billion woman. But she had the wherewithal and the mindset to know that she could put people in key positions that will allow her to stand in her greatness as the creator and the visionary, and allow her business to grow and thrive as she had envisioned it to be. I want to say even the ladies that started other business, Ariana Huffington and Susan Blakely, all these phenomenal women that have started these businesses, they had the mindset to know that I'm going to stay in my lane when it's appropriate, but I'm also going to allow other people to get in the lanes that I have destined for them that will take all of us to greater heights. So mindset matters extremely, extremely, extremely. And if you're suffering with mindset challenges, then surround yourself with a group of women that can help you, again, see what you can't see, that can support you, that can call you out on things that you need to see and be doing, that can help you strategize and see the vision beyond what you're struggling with in your mindset, whether it's fear, whether it's lack of abilities in a specific area, whether you're apprehensive about expanding or feeling the need to contract, whatever it is, surrounding yourself with a community of women that are going to empower and inspire you and lift you up and help you is a powerful way to keep your mindset intact. Now, the other gentleman I like to talk about, and I know this is the Brave, Bold, and Unstoppable Women's Virtual Summit, but I can't help but thinking about some of these guys, and some of them, I've either met or had the privilege of being in the room with and listening to them speak. And one that really touched my heart and soul was Stephen Jobs and Steve Wozniak. A lot of times people think, when they think of Apple computers, they think of just Stephen Jobs. But back in the day, it was Stephen Jobs and Steve Wozniak. And Stephen Jobs was the visionary, and Steve Wozniak was the technological guru. And what was beautiful about that was Stephen Jobs knew that once the Stephen Wozniak left, he needed to have people in key places that could keep the technology advancement evolving. Even though he was a visionary and he could see what he wanted to have done, he didn't have the wherewithal, or maybe I want to say the right expertise to do all of that by himself. And so his mindset was, I'm going to place people that are smarter than me in the areas that I want to grow in those positions, so that I know that those areas can grow and I can focus on being the visionary for my company and taking my company into the 21st, 22nd century. So it's very, very important to have the mindset. I want to share a story with you about a gal that was a client of mine, Sarah, who is a single mom, and she had 2 young kids. She lost her job during an economic downturn, and that was the real estate downturn. And her friends and family encouraged her to take a job, any job that she can get. They're like, come on, Sarah, you can't just sit around. You just got to take a job because you got these babies, feed. And, so what if you don't like the job and pay some bills? Nobody wants to be in a job that they don't like, right? And nobody wants to take something out of a need just to take it and realize that it was a horrible, horrible mistake. But Sarah believed that her passion for making handmade crafts could be more than just a hobby. She made beautiful pieces of things and beautiful arts and crafts. And despite feeling rejected by her own family, which sometimes happen, sometimes your own family can throw salt in your face quicker than people you don't know. And they will not support you. Just because family is family doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get the support you need, particularly when you seem to be down and out on your luck. And so Sarah, even though she faced tremendous rejection with regards to her inner circle, those close to her, she kept her mindset above water because she knew that her love for making hot crafts, and that was her hobby, her side hustle, so to speak, and that she knew that one day she would be able to take that side hustle and create a business from it. Now, Sarah went from running just a little stand at the Arts and Crafts Festival or the farmers market every weekend, or, arts and crafts shows throughout the state, to creating an online business. I helped Sarah figure some things out with regards to what exactly she wanted to do with her online business. We helped her get some funding, and it wasn't a whole lot, but it was just enough that she needed to start her online business. And in the first couple of weeks, there were no sales, but that didn't stop Sarah from having that successful mindset. Week 3, she made 3 sales, and she was happy. Those 3 sales allowed her to say she had achieved some success. The thing about it was, those 3 sales turned out to be huge because the 3 people that bought from her had a vast, I don't want to say empire, but a vast relationship with many, many others in the community, and many, many others abroad and online that were looking for what Sarah's hobbies, her projects, her arts and crafts that she made. By the end of the month, Sarah was making 5 sales a day. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot, but over the course of 30 days, 5, that's 150 sales a month. We stuck to it, and Sarah kept her mindset going. And here's the beautiful thing with regards to Sarah's journey. And this is so funny. Her family, even though she was rejected by those close to her, they were telling her she couldn't do it, she wouldn't be successful. By day 90, Sarah's business was selling over 1,000 pieces a week, Sarah began to make money hand over fist. She was printing money basically. And it was so seamlessly set up that she didn't even have to worry about how she was going to feed her kids. She no longer had to worry about how she was going to make her mortgage payment. She no longer had to worry about, getting used tires to replace the tires that were going bald on her car. She no longer had to worry about who was going to take care of the kids because she now had some additional money where she could hire someone to help her to assist taking care of her kids while she ran her business. Then the beautiful thing is she had grown so much that she needed to hire people. So she created other streams of revenue for other women that she hired that allowed her to stand in her greatness. And it was all because she kept her mindset in check. She broke through the barrier of fear. She allowed the rejection naysayers to be external of her, and she didn't allow any negative stuff to come into her mindset. She followed some of the guidance I told her with regards to her dosha and her specific way that she needed to think and operate in ebb and flow that resonated with her unique individual self with her body and her mind. And Sarah today, I'm happy to say, is commanding a very high six-figure, almost seven-figure business after losing her job, being rejected by those close to her, friends and family, and staying true to knowing that she made beautiful products. And the duplication of her making her beautiful products became a reality when she created her online business store. So because of this, she didn't allow the limiting beliefs of others to be infringed upon her mind. She held back thoughts that sometimes came up within her that were limiting, and she would always turn them around into positive affirmation statements, which I showed her, taught her how to do. And I showed her also how to take those positive affirmations and turn them into attentions that kept her focused on what she wanted to accomplish that day. She turned a hobby into a six-figure business, and she overcame the ability of the setbacks and the refusals by others to assist her that were close to her, and the setback that she just wasn't sure if she could sustain the business like she wanted it to, like she envisioned it. The other thing that we did for Sarah was we helped her create a vision, a mission, and a plan with strategic objectives that held her accountable and that kept her mindset on track and on target. So kudos to Sarah. And that's why I'm saying mindset is so very powerful. And if you're someone that's struggling and you have a business and you're struggling, or you're wanting to start a business, or you got a side hustle and you're struggling about what you should do with that, and your mindset is telling you, girl, you can't do it, limiting beliefs are coming in. And a lot of these limiting beliefs that come into us are things that are implanted in us when we were children. Then you want to definitely stay tuned, because I've got a gift for you that you're definitely going to want. And I'm going to share with you another way on how you can get this wonderful, wonderful gift that's getting ready to be published out to the masses that will help you specifically stay on track with having that positive mindset and erase those limiting beliefs. Now, what I want to give you is something that that will also help you with your mindset, the visualization. Each and every day before you get out of bed, whether you're a woman entrepreneur or you got a job, each and every day before you get out of bed, when you wake up and you open your eyes, take 45 seconds to a minute and visualize something that you want to accomplish in your day that's going to uplift your mindset, that's going to have you flowing and feel like just nectar, the honey nectar is flowing in your mind. Visualize it, whether it's you getting dressed and putting that power suit on and looking with your 5-inch heels and stepping out the door and feeling like you're Beyonce. Visualize that. Visualize and look at and imagine how Beyonce is when she's on stage. She's commanding it, okay? Whether it's You just want to be able to get up and cook your kids a very nice breakfast in the morning. Visualize it, but take 45 seconds to a minute to visualize something that you want to do that's going to empower you and uplift you and keep you in that ultra high mindset for the day. And when any moment throughout the day comes as those limiting beliefs begin to creep back in, think about that 45 seconds to a minute that you visualize when you woke up in the morning, and that will circumvent, it will completely turn it, and it will definitely take you from that negative trajectory back into a positive state. The thing is, you got to do it constantly. Anytime a limiting belief comes into your mind that tells you that whatever it is limiting your opportunities and your possibilities, stop it in its tracks, turn it into something powerful, turn it into a powerful statement via affirmation with an intention, or close your eyes for a moment and just recreate that visualization that you had when you first opened your eyes before you got out of bed. Golden nugget number 2 that I want to share with you is, in order to be a successful business owner with destiny by design and unlocking the unlimited possibilities for business success, you got to build a brand. And building a brand is not just creating a logo and colors and having everything look so pretty and, fluffy and, it looks good, but it's not representing what you do. I struggled with this myself in the beginning when I started my second business. The thing about when I started my second business, Blissful Living for You, is Blissful Living for You was actually a holistic health and wellness spa in Northern California with exclusive clientele. My specialty is detoxification, and I use the principles of Ayurveda in everything that I do, business, personal, everything, because I know my unique body type, which is a Pitta dosha. You can go to the site and find out what yours is. And I know how I need to ebb and flow in order to stay at a harmonistic level that allows me to ebb and flow no matter what comes across my day, okay? But when it came to taking the spa global, I fell into the same thing of, let me get a pretty color that represents my pretty logo, and everything kind of got displaced. My brand was known as this holistic spa that transformed people's lives. And then when I took it online, I kind of felt that I needed to do a little bit of everything that wasn't in line with my brand. And so having that brand and building a brand is key, because the brand is what gives you identity. And nowadays, when people see me, I'm always in my brand colors because they are my favorite colors. But my brand signifies everything that I do with regards to wellness, wisdom, wealth, unlocking the unlimited possibilities so that you can have and live the life of your dreams, and definitely focusing on those 3 pillars. My brand is wellness, wisdom, and wealth, and my brand name is Blissful Living for You. Now, the importance of having a brand also creates long-term stability and success for you, because there are people that they may not remember your name, but they'll remember your brand. For instance, everybody has an Apple phone, and everybody knows that this, I can't even show you the device, but that Apple symbol with the little chunk that looks like it's been bitten out, you can see that all day long, anywhere in the world, and that represents Apple, okay? Microsoft, they built a brand, and you can see Microsoft, just the brand, just the logo anywhere in the world, and that's Microsoft. Fox News or Chanel. Oh, my favorite. I'm a Chanel girl. Whenever I see those 2 C's linked together like this, I know that that's Coco Chanel, and that's a brand that has class and sophistication. So the importance of building a brand is key to unlocking the unlimited possibilities for business success. My story that I want to share with you about building a brand is about a client that I had named Maria, and Maria always loved baking. And when she decided to turn her baking into a business, she didn't want to be just another local baker that made cookies and cakes and, pies in the city. She wanted to do something very special. And I could totally appreciate this because I'm gluten sensitive. So Maria wanted her bakery to be specifically a gluten-free vegan bakery. And because she was a vegan and her lifestyle and her gluten sensitivity, it just made sense to her. Why wouldn't she offer the best products available for vegans and gluten sensitive people that still tasted yummy and luscious, and we could get all that sweet, satisfying, sexually healing good stuff that we could put into our bodies that were actually really good for our bodies and fell in line with what she believed and what she valued. Maria didn't just sell cakes, she sold the promise of health, inclusivity, and sustainability. And that's what she built her gluten-free bakery and vegan bakery brand upon. Again, it was her tapping into being more than just a baker and being more than just someone offering additional products for gluten-free and vegan. She tapped into that her brand, her bakery was going to help you to sustain better health and well-being. It was including those that were always on the exclusive list, the vegans, the gluten-sensitive people, people that just wanted to eat better and watch their diet, but still wanted to have a taste of that those sweet goodies, and sustainability, because everything is that she utilizes in her products are sustainable goods that allow healing and synergy to happen within the body. Now, Maria's bakery went from one location to 4 locations in Northern California. And she still is thriving. And she is so happy because she almost gave up, again, due to rejection from those closest to her. But because she already had a pretty determined mindset, and she had been a vegan for such a long time, and she knew the struggles that was going on, she knew that if she just stuck with it, stayed loyal to her brand, stayed loyal to what her brand was representing, then she would have definitely business sustainability. And so I'm happy to say that Maria is killing it, and she is a 6-figure, multi-location, gluten-free, vegan bakery that is absolutely off the charts. Now, Maria's decision to focus on vegan, gluten-free vegan products made her not only stand out amongst bakers, but made her stand out amongst caterers and community people looking to have goodies at their events. Again, as we evolve as a society, things change. What was happening in the 60s is no longer relevant here in this part of the century, the millennial, right? It was no longer relevant. But those things that happened in the 60s set the foundation for us to be able to do the things that we're doing today. So it's not that they're not no longer relevant. They're still very relevant. It's just that they are different. I never heard about vegans or gluten-sensitive people growing up. And the only gluten-sensitive people I heard, even when I was going through nursing school in the 80s, was those that had celiac disease. So the fact that Maria stayed true to herself and true to what she wanted to provide not only helped her to stand out, but allow other people in other industries, such as caterers and other food source companies, to know that they had a source that they could reach out to for sweets and goodies and all of that, where they could cater to every clientele that they could possibly come across. And because of that, not only did Maria have those 4 locations, she had other companies reaching out to her that wanted her to provide products for their events and products that they could utilize in their menus of catering and so on, that allowed her to have another source of income come in. The other thing with Maria was she wasn't just making cakes and cookies and things of that nature. She had a connection with her customers. Her customers were coming to her because they connected with her for the specialty that she created. But here's the other thing. Not only was she getting gluten-free and gluten-sensitive and vegan people, she was getting other people, regular folks that didn't have any issues with gluten or weren't vegan, that were coming to her because her products were so good. And the fact that they didn't taste funny, they didn't taste like chalk, they tasted yummy as if they were regular. And I hate to say regular, but if they were like mainstream, not gluten-free or vegan-free, vegan products, that connection with her customers was key, and it was powerful. They came to her because they believed in healthier choices for themselves. They believed in being inclusive in the world, and they believed in reinforcing the values within themselves and helping to reflect those values in others in the community. And so that was one of the reasons why Maria's business not only took off, but continues to grow and be a very sustainable business, because she built a brand. And within that brand she made sure that she tapped into health, inclusivity, sustainability, and customer connection. So no matter where you are in Northern California or anywhere in the United States, or for that matter around the world, look out for, go online and Google gluten-free vegan bakeries in Northern California, and I'm sure you will come across Maria's Bakery. Now, here's something that I want you to take away with regards to this golden nugget number 2, is I want you to think of your unique story, your value proposition that you offer that sets you apart, and what you are, and what is the promise of whatever it is you're selling, whether you're a social media expert, marketing, sales, systems guru, funnel builder, health and wellness expert, life coach, podcaster, whatever it is. Ask yourself, what is your value proposition? How does your unique story fit into your value proposition? What is it that you do that sets you apart? And what is your promise for selling? And when you can answer those questions, that is the key to building your brand or restructuring your brand. It's not necessary to think that you need to change your brand if you already have a brand. But ask yourself those questions. And if you can truthfully answer those questions, you might have some epiphany and some aha moments that will say, hey, you know what, my brand is this, and it has been this, and I built a pretty good, business upon it. But now that I've been asked these questions, and I'm asking and answering these questions honestly from my heart, not from what my head wants to tell me, but from my heart, tapping into my heart to answer these questions, I might have another beautiful source that I can add that will keep my brand built and sustainable and growing, and my outreach becomes more out there by just answering these questions. Again, what is it, your unique story? What is the value, your value proposition that sets you apart from everybody else doing exactly what you're doing? And what is the promise that you're selling? And when you can implement those into your destiny by design, your vision, your mission, and your goals and objectives, then, my friends, you open up another avenue of a revenue stream, income stream coming into you, as well as you open up the possibilities, or rather the unlimited possibilities for business success. Now, the last thing is the third golden nugget that I want to share with you as I continue my talk. And I'm getting close to time, but I'm continuing my talk. Excuse me, let me get a sip of water. Mouth is dry. You know how when you be talking like I do, and I'm running my mouth, and y'all, if y'all know me, I can run my mouth. Your mouth is dry, and so it's also really nourishing to keep your mouth, your palate moisturized, so that you don't stumble over the words that you talk like I've been doing, because my palate is dry and I haven't been moisturizing my palate, so that my tongue and my mouth flows effervescently with the moisture in my mouth as I spew these words of wisdom to you. So The next nugget of gold is creating a sales funnel that works. Woo, y'all. This was a hard one for me because I came from traditional corporation business. Our sales funnel is, we went out, we introduced the customer to our service and what we provided. We gave them the best service possible. They paid, we sent them the invoice after the project. They paid the invoice. We wait for the next job and we continue that cycle, right? However, with the advent of the internet and how business completely has changed over the last 23 years since the internet and all this online stuff, and now with the advent of AI, as as I say, I'm working on becoming a certified AI consultant for businesses and women entrepreneurs. There's some things that have been game changers, and this creating a sales funnel. Remember, I talked to you about Sarah and how she had that business that she created that was just a side hustle, and she's making products, arts and crafts.
Our Bessemer so Marie is
Hey, I love that. Y'all don't get me started, because I'll act a fool and be all geared up. I love it. Thank you so much. I love it, love it, love it. And I appreciate you. And if you are on Facebook watching, please reach out to your homies, your homegirls, your homeboys, and whoever, and share that this is live. And this information is not just for women entrepreneurs, it's for all entrepreneurs. But, of course, I'm going to cater to my queens, because we are going to command it, being those brave, bold, unstoppable women. Okay, so I'm digressing. But remember when I was talking to you about Sarah and the arts and crafts business that she had, and how she went from pretty 0 to 100 was the sales funnels that were created. Now, I'm not a sales funnel expert, but I had a wealth of people in my Rolodex that were sales funnels expert. So what we did was we reached out to them. I let her talk to a few. The one that resonated with her was the one she worked with. And that was how really her business began to grow. There was a funnel that was created, a sales funnel. And the sales funnel is a beautiful thing. We've all experienced it. Check it out. When you watch TV, and I'm just going to say, Armour hot dogs. I'm dating myself, but hot dogs, you see a hot dog, they're talking about hot dogs on TV and, summertime, backyard barbecues and all that kind of stuff. And then, bam, they drop the name of the hot dog brand. And then, okay, when you go to the store, you want a hot dog, you think of that hot dog brand. Now there's 17,000 other hot dog brands, but the one that sticks out in your head is the one that you remember because of all the commercials you've seen. That's part of somewhat of a sales funnel. Another sales funnel may be if, here's a good one. Here's a good one. HelloFresh. You order something, you get the free HelloFresh gift card for a free, little thing in whatever it is you order, magazine, whatever. You take a look at it. You say, oh, let me check it out. You go on their site, bam, and they have created something for you to entice you. It's a sales funnel. That enticer was the first little thing you got. And then you go to the site and you see all these other enticers and you begin to engage into that funnel. Getting a free gift for someone has an offer and they offer you a free gift, such as what I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to show you later. This is a free invitation to find out what the Brave, Bold, Unstoppable Women Summits is all about. It's a taste. It's a little taste. So next time you see the Brave, Bold, Unstoppable Women Summits online or in social media, and you're like, hey, when's an event coming to my area? You're going to click on the link and you're going to be like, hey, okay, I got this. I see this. Let me check it out. I want to attend a live event, or I want to see what Rochelle Marie what else she has to offer, her podcast, or I got this free gift about, money manifestation, a 5-minute a day money manifestation. I got that gift that gets me into Rochelle Marie's funnel. So whenever she's doing something, I'm going to get a notification that she's doing something and I can choose to participate or not. That's pretty much what a sales funnel is. But let me tell you about my girl, Aisha. So Aisha had a passion for sustainable fashion, and she started writing blog posts about sustainable fashion practices, and soon had a dedicated readership. Now, how many of you out there have blogs? I've been writing blogs since 2009. I probably have, I don't know, 500 plus blog articles out there. It's a taste. It's an introduction into the world of the Queen of Feeling Fabulous. And Aisha's blog was an introduction into her world of sustainable fashion. Recognizing her audience's pain point, she launched a line of eco-friendly clothing that was breathable. You could wear it in the winter and be warm. You could wear it in the summer and be cold. It was made out of sustainable products. But sales were sluggish when she first began to create this brand of hers, this sales funnel. She introduced webinars and freestyle guides for sustainable fashion and retargeted her website visitors with personalized ads. Now, slowly but surely, her blog readers transformed into loyal customers. You see, they had an introduction that she got, and so many people have that introductory gift that they give you. You like the gift, you start following, you start seeing their blogs, you read their blogs, you start seeing their emails, you pay attention to their emails. When something happens, you're one of the first people to know about it. You may get that extra little goodie that they're giving it to be one of the first to purchase or not, but it's strategically designed to lead you on a journey that becomes more and more intimate with whatever it is, the product that you're trying to get to or the product that you're trying to sell. You want to create that introductory journey. For instance, when I first meet people, you often shake their hand, you have a small conversation with them, and you figure out if there's a resonance or something like that. But that introduction, that small conversation can lead to greater things. If they're a fit and you guys kind of gel and ebb and flow, then they start stalking you and following you on social media. They start getting your free gifts. They start going to your website to see what's happening. They start looking at the products that you have to offer. They click on a product, they like that. They click on a freebie, they like that. But this is a sales funnel, and it's meant so that you can have an intimate experience with your clients, an intimate experience with those that you are meant to serve without having to have that one-on-one contact with them. And you can have many, many, many intimate experiences going on at the same time that you don't really have to be a part of. It's giving them that opportunity to get more of you and more of what you have to offer without having to do a lot of extra work. It's no longer going and hitting the pavement and going door to door to make the sales, because now there's just one click, bam, and it's there. It's very important for you in being able to unlock the unlimited possibilities for sustained business success, because you never know who may pass on your link or who may pass on your free gift or who may introduce your website to somebody else that has the power and the wherewithal to blow things up in a good way for you. I shouldn't, maybe blow things up is not the right word, but take it from 0 to 100, as Drake says. Started from the bottom and now you way up here because of the sales funnel that you've created with regards to your business. Now, Aisha wasn't just about blogging, and she wasn't just about imparting knowledge and wisdom. It was just one of the top things that she done, and it was a top good thing for her funnel to get people into her funnel. Now, she also addressed their pain points when it came to fashion and sustainable fashion, and many of her readers wanted to know, how did they style their sustainable clothing? So those were questions that they would put back at her, which led her to engage more into what her readers and what people that were attracted to her really wanted to know. And because of that, she was able to curtail and create a sales funnel that led them on a journey that guided them to the information that they wanted to know, that they desired to know, just by her engaging with them. And that led to more sales and more looks and more things of that nature. The more looks she got, the more sales she got. You're not going to sell to everybody. It's not going to always be a fit for everybody. but the more you do it, it opens up a vast amount of opportunities and possibilities for people to become your go-to client, so to speak, without you even knowing it. And then she retargeted. She ensured that she remained in her audience's mind, converting them from casual readers to die-hard readers. How many of you have gotten a book? I used to read Mary Higgins Clark, the first book, and I was on it. I was hooked. Those books, until I read probably 12 of her books in a row, because I really liked what she had to say in her books. I liked the stories. Another one was John Grisham. When I used to work in the emergency department at night, and when we did have slow nights and I was triaging, I would sometimes pull out my John Grisham. And because I got so addicted and knew that I liked his style, I couldn't wait for the next book to come out until I just kind of burnt myself out on it. And so what Aisha did was she tapped into the wisdom of the minds of those that were following her customers, and that allowed her to create specific sales funnels that catered to the needs and what they were looking and what they were desiring. Now, this takeaway for you all to implement and really hone into this nugget of gold for you is, where are your potential touch points for people to come into your world? Do you have a sales funnel that leads them on this beautiful journey? And does your sales funnel not only feed those that desire to be a part of your world what they need, but does your sales funnel actually feed you the information that keeps you relevant and keeps you engaged and keeps you giving to those that you're meant to serve what they desire to have from you? Answer those questions, and if you can answer them truly, you'll see some key openings for you, whether you have a great sales funnel or you want to create more sustainable sales funnels, or you want to create a sales funnel. The key is it's a give and take. You get information and your clients get information, and those that you're meant to serve get information. So the more you are able to create a give and take, a take and give, a give and take, and strategically create that so you have a sustainable sales funnel that leads you to go from 5 to 6 to 7 figures in business, then you will be doing exactly what it is, destiny by design, and unlocking the unlimited possibilities for sustained business success. So just to give you a quick synopsis, remember the power of mindset nugget, gold nugget number 1. You definitely want to, I challenge you with this: identify one limiting belief that you have and replace it with an empowering one. Get the free gift that I'm going to be offering very shortly. Golden nugget number 2 is building a brand. Make sure your brand is as recognizable and beautiful as Apple, Microsoft, Oprah, Chanel, some of the keys. Once you build that recognizable brand, such as Maria and her vegan bakery and her gluten-free bakery, then you will develop customers that will be so loyal to you that you will be able to print money by doing this last thing, which is creating a sales funnel where it's automatic. People come into your world and they can automatically engage with you without you having to spend that one-to-one time with them. All righty. All right. So now that you have some nuggets of gold, and my time is almost just about up to chat with you, I want to ask you if you are ready to transform your business. And if so, I want you to take action now. Now, you've heard the insights, you felt the energy, and now it's time to act. And if you are committed to unlocking the unlimited possibilities for business success, then this is your defining moment. Here's the thing. First thing I want to share with you is, first of all, I've got 2 unmissable opportunities just for you. The first one is you got to get on my VIP list. Join my exclusive email list today to receive actionable tips, free resources, and early bird specials that will catapult your business to the next level so that you can actually not only have your dream life, but live your dream life and have the pillars of wellness, wisdom, and wealth ebb and flow for unlimited business success. And then The next thing is grab your seat. If you're in the areas of Atlanta, Georgia, or San Francisco, where the next live Brave, Bold, and Unstoppable Women Summits are going to be taking place, then you want to grab your seats to the live events. And if you're ready to level up and network with like-minded women entrepreneurs, you need to be in the house at the live event. Secure a spot and be at our upcoming Supercharged live event. Again, it's happening October 14th in downtown Atlanta at the Hyatt Regency in downtown Atlanta. I'm going to pop up the QR code so you can get the information in just a few minutes. And then the last one is going to be in November, Saturday, November 4th in San Francisco at the Galleria Park Hotel. And so because I promised to pop up the live, the QR code and all the stuff so you can get the information on how you can get your tickets, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to bring this up for you all. And if you can see my screen, you see right here where my cursor is moving about, you see right here, Blissful Living for You is bringing the Brave, Bold, Unstoppable Women Summit 2023 to Atlanta. It's going to be happening Saturday, October 14th in downtown Atlanta at the Hyatt Regency, which is one of our sponsors of the event. So grateful to have them. We've got some amazing speakers, as you can see this picture right here. You want to scan that QR code and get your tickets or to find out more about it if you want to be involved. We're looking for ambassadors, vendors, and women entrepreneurs to come and support women entrepreneurs. We're going to be honoring our women veterans. So if you're a woman veteran, you need to get your ticket and be in the house. Women veterans tickets are discounted. So grab a couple of your fellow veteran sisters and come in the house. If you're a friend of mine or family member and you're living in the Georgia area, somewhere around Atlanta, come see your fam, come see your girl, because we're going to have a ball. We're going to turn it out as we normally do, and you will leave so fulfilled and so filled with joy. So hit the QR code, get your ticket, and I'm going to just scroll up a little bit more because the next one is the free gifts. You can get your free gifts, and this is okay. I practice what I preach. Sales funnel, building a sales funnel, get your free gifts. There's the money mantra that if you really want to have a game changer when it comes to building wealth, particularly us women building residual wealth and creating financial legacies for our future generations, then you want to pick up the gift about the money mantras. No doubt it's going to be part of my upcoming book, 365 Days of Affirmations for a Year of Bliss, soon to be released within the next few weeks by Balboa Press and Hay House. In addition, you want to get the 5-minute guide to attracting your desires and unlocking the unlimited possibilities in business and life. These are free gifts for you. So I'm going to leave these up just a few more minutes. I'm going to take a couple sips of water. Now, when you get the QR codes to each of these, this will get you on our list and you will be able to get more information about upcoming things that I'm doing. Of course, I have the Blissful Living podcast that is all over the place. I've had that since 2010, and I've had some of everybody on there, again, from athletes, celebrities, to gurus, to regular women and men, just like me and you, that are just out there supporting us to stand in our greatness with our gifts and our mission to serve the world. So you can also get an advance notification for the book, 365 Days of Affirmations for a Year of Bliss. In addition, there will be another book coming out in a couple of months, The Unstoppable Woman's Manifesto, where I share all my good secrets as I've tapped into Queen Nefertiti and how she built and commanded her empire during the rule of her husband way back in ancient Egypt. But for right now, 365 Days of Affirmations for a Year of Bliss is coming to you soon. All righty. And then if you want to stay connected with me, I'm everywhere. Again, you can sign up get that QR code and get on our advanced reader list to get the advanced notification of the book and get some really good goodies with the book 365 Days of Affirmations for a Year of Bliss. You can connect with me on social media, the website. I'm all over the place. If you can't find me, it's because you're not trying to find me, because I'm everywhere. And I'm the only queen of feeling fabulous out there. There may be some other Rochelles, but there's no Rochelle Marie, and there's no Rochelle Marie Lawsons, and there's definitely no Rochelle Marie Lawsons that are the queen of feeling fabulous, other than your girl here, me right now. Okay, so there you can stay connected with me. And then I just want to thank you for your time today. I'm going to roll into our next speaker. And you're going to be blown away. And this is just one of many of the phenomenal speakers that you will have access to if you come to the live event in Atlanta, Georgia. And so thank you for your time. I'm going to just leave this up for a little bit. And I'm going to turn on some music and ask our speaker, Suzanne, girl, are you ready? If you are, give me a thumbs up.
I am ready.
Okay, see, I told you, I bring it like that. That's just how we do things here in the Blissful Living for You world. And so as I'm going to bring some music here. Love my jazz. And so I'll transition out and we're going to get ready for Suzanne. And Suzanne, girl, let me stop sharing first. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm going to share my screen. Oop, it says it's not letting me share my screen. Will it let me?
Hold on.
It's in the host.
Try now.
I got it now.
All right. And here we have Suzanne Nadell. She is a powerhouse, and she is actually taking time out of her very busy day to be here for all of you and me as well. So girl, go ahead on, do your thing.
Okay, you are all, you're my lunch. So this is my my lunch today. I had popcorn when we were off. So Rochelle talked to us about the awesomeness of being that brave, bold, and unstoppable woman. You know, all these things to be that woman that we have dreamed of being. And while we build our businesses, there are so many things that we can do. But what I want to talk to you about is something that only you can do and is essential in making sure that you succeed. And what is that? It's one word. It's rest. So some of you may have just rolled your eyes. You're thinking this is going to be like another self-care talk, or you figured this out, or you're thinking, really, rest? Like, are you serious? So I want you to know I get it. So who am I? First, it's awesome that Rochelle was talking about being in Atlanta, because I am coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia. I am a wife, mom, and TV news boss. That's how I introduce myself on social networks. I run the nation's top local TV newsroom. A normal workday at the office is 10 hours minimum. My husband also works in the news business, and we have a 13-year-old boy. So enough said with that. We're active in our church and community organizations, and I'm building a business that fuels my passion. And that business is empowering women to use their gifts. I also do social, and I wrote a book. I'm also a 2-time cancer survivor with some high-risk genes, so I'm constantly navigating health situations. What's the takeaway there? We all have stuff. We all have stuff that's overwhelming. Our situations are all unique. But I believe there's one thing that we have all in common. And that's women, no matter what's on our plate, we often put ourselves last. So I want to walk you through some life lessons I've learned. I can't juggle all of those things without hitting a breaking point if I don't figure out how to rest. And ladies, you can't either. So in my office behind me, which you can't see since I've got the background, there are 2 Energizer bunnies. Yes, those pink things with the drums. And when I was in my 30s, my boss nicknamed me the Energizer Bunny. She'd say, Suzanne is the one who just keeps going, going, and going. That is until I stopped. What a lot of people may not think, they may think I never rest. What they don't see is the steps I put in place to ensure that I do. The steps that I do to protect all of those things that we're talking about. So that's what we're going to talk about, is the life lessons learned from when I crashed. So let's talk about when I crashed. Let's go back to mid-March 2020. In a matter of days, we moved 90% of my staff of about 130 to remote style workforce. And if you're one of those people thinking, so my company did that too, what's the big deal? The big deal is the majority of the news industry operated with a mindset that remote newsrooms were not possible. I'd argue that it's still not optimal, but we figured out in ways that it was possible. So there's just something that face-to-face communication brings, but we did it. And basically every position except for the anchors, we were blessed. We got everyone out. But wait, not everyone got that added rest and things that we talk about with those days of the pandemic. While work-life balance, and some people were able to stay home and disconnect, I was at home running a newsroom, but my work-life balance was off. My commute time ended up being work time. It was impossible for me to turn it off. And the work just followed me and others while we were at home. So what did we do? My leaders and I, we mandated unplug days. With the support of my boss, we made every manager take an unplugged day every 2 weeks. And yes, my boss made me do it too. The leader of the newsroom, I had to take an unplugged day. Other staff members, we made 4 days a week, something else we thought that we could never do. But you know what? The crash still hadn't happened for me yet. See, it turns out over time, I said I was taking my unplugged days, but I really wasn't. I wasn't following my own advice. I check in more and more. All of those things that I had put into place that I, would do to keep myself in a good place, it wasn't happening. And by the time I got to December, I was done. I'd spent a year of telling others to take the time to ensure their tanks were full, and mine wasn't. And ladies, when we're talking about building your business, this can so easily happen. You're so worried about taking care of your business and the people working for you that you get to a place where you're just done. The pandemic sent me to every bad stress behavior I owned. I was taking care of others, but not myself. My hair was falling out. I spent hours in dark rooms. It was not good. So what did I have to do? I had to figure out how to turn the demands off. When I stopped to think about why I stopped resting, I found one simple thing. I stopped intentionally turning things off. And let's be real, taking a real rest is harder than ever because we're connected in ways that were unimaginable less than a generation ago. So what I'm not going to do is spend an entire section telling you about the dangers of social media because that ship has sailed. But if you want to connect to people, I agree, you do have to be on social media. That ship has sailed. Instead, we're going to talk about how I've learned from others on how to turn the demands off. So I think of a good example, and look for the good examples in your life. I think of a former president of a media company I worked for. She's regularly active on social media, but it's not work stuff, it's family stuff. And I know a lot of people don't get that. They may think it even sends the wrong message, but as a woman in leadership, I get it. I know she works extremely hard and I know her days were long and she got things done. But in seeing her do that, I also learned that she rested, and I learned that her daughters were important to her. And I learned that she made them a priority. And when she was at work, she was at work. And when she was with family and friends, she was present with them and with family and friends. That's the only way we can do both, ladies. As well, some may wonder if we're turning things off because, we're on social media, or if we're part of things. You got to figure out, I say, when I'm at work, I'm at work. And when I'm at home, I'm at home. When can you dedicate one time to another? But again, that's easier said than done, right? I'm not telling anything to you all that you haven't heard before. So we're going to talk about a few ideas, maybe a few ideas that are reminders to you, but a few ideas on how you can keep your tank full and be that brave, bold, and unstoppable woman. Okay, so here we go. A few ideas to help you turn it off so you can rest. Plan your rest. It goes back to that saying, what's important gets scheduled, and what schedule gets done, schedule it. Verbalize it. I talk about when I'm going to take time to rest. Trusted leaders, I tell them, my husband, when I'm taking more than a day, I tell my boss, who may tell, his bosses, so everyone knows not to bug me. Verbalize that you're going to be in your rest time. Put the devices away. When I ensure I'm enabling people who report to me to do this, they make sure I do it as well. You know what I mean? Just put the devices away. And that goes with the, setting the tone. You set the tone. When the people who report to you see you put the device away and they see that it's okay, that you are setting the tone. Remember, it's okay if we say one thing and do another. The people who we are leading, they see us do that. You can even have device-free zones, hours or days where I plan on doing this for the long haul. I tell my boss or key people how to reach me in case there's an emergency, which is usually my husband's phone. But in the years of doing that, nobody has ever called my husband's cell phone to reach me. It sets the tone that it has to be a big deal to interrupt my rest. Trust those you have trained up. Trusting others is at the core of turning work off. That may be one of the hardest steps to take. Trust. So trusting is easier said than done. That's why I want to talk about this a bit. I was having a meeting with a newsroom leader about why some folks were stepping up and others weren't. And for years, we had been talking about empowerment and trusting our people. So why were they not doing things on their own? And then in a side conversation, a manager who reports to me was brave. And he said some words to his boss that his boss, me, needed to hear. And he said, Suzanne, it's one thing to say you trust. It's another thing to show it. Wow, for a moment, I was thinking, you do realize I hired you, right? But that quickly changed too. That's why I hired this guy. He was right. Trust is an action verb. But trust allows you to grow. Building your people requires letting them go to grow. And if you all don't realize, I know the difficulty in do this, you do not understand what I've been doing for the past quarter century. And that's an area where it's hard to trust others because we have to be on every day. We understand trust in that aspect, but also that trust in a news organization can be eliminated in a matter of seconds, and you may never get it back. So I don't want to ever allow any errors. A misstep could even ruin someone's life. But you got to learn when you can allow others to grow and trust them, when it's safe for them to make a mistake so they can grow and your life gets better, because that leads to 3 powerful words. It was in that exhaustion of 2020 that I was talking to one of our corporate leaders, and he told me there's power in these 3 words. He said, I trust you. And then he followed it up with, but you have to really trust them if you say you do. When you trust them, show them that you do by trusting them. So the life lessons, one of the things I talk about is life lessons. So the life lessons I learned about burnout. I'm not going to move on without touching on watching the signs of burnout. Those are the signs that you are well past time for rest. This is what I've learned to watch myself, and yours may be different. But for me, it's I'm beyond tired. Beyond tired. I procrastinate. For me, this is a tough one, and I'm being very vulnerable to say this. I start playing the victim. It's like, I'm working harder than anyone else. I'm not getting the accolades that everyone else is doing. I start feeling sorry for myself. When I start getting in a mindset of playing the victim, I know I need to have some rest time. I'm extreme with my emotions. My health suffers. I overwork. Isn't that weird? That sometimes when we need to rest, we get in behaviors where we work more and I overwork. That's a sign that I'm not in a good mental place. So I encourage you to think about, what are your signs? How do you know when it's time to rest? And I think it's important for us to remember what works for someone else may not work for you. I've told this story before. I grew up in a house with one bathroom and, 3 kids. And my mom, when she was younger, she got so frustrated with a Weight Watchers leader who encouraged them to lock the bathroom and take a bubble bath to relax. My mom will still tell you to this day, she will not take a bubble bath and lock the bathroom, because I got home from school in the afternoon and I was sick to my stomach, and my mom wouldn't answer the door. And in all my like 3rd grade brilliance, did I run to a trash can? No, I just threw up all over the door. So a bubble bath won't work for my mom, but it may work for you. I think we need to remember not to shame people for the way they relax. Everybody relaxes and recharges in different ways, and we can't tell people and judge people based on what they do to fill their tank versus others. So here are some things to remember. I think we also think that it has to always be a 24 hours of unplugging or disconnect, when in fact, what you may need more is just more short, frequent breaks throughout the day, stepping outside for air, quick stretching, even closing your eyes and meditating for a few minutes at your desk. Brief mindfulness and meditation. There are apps to do this. A few short periods can help manage stress. I find those old school coloring or connect the dots books. Sometimes I'm like, who have I become? I cannot believe I'm into these things, but they help me so much. Reading, I personally found that putting away my phone and reading fiction before I go to bed helps me to get to sleep quicker and sleep better. Nature walks, gardening, being in nature, observing what's around you. Mindful eating. When you are mindful about what you're eating, you're enjoying the taste and smell of food. That's a form of rest and self-care. Cooking is stressful for some, restful for others. Music, if you're in an environment where you can listen to music that resonates with your emotions, it can be a real quick way to refuel, give you a pep in your step. Being with people in your community, it may be restful and replenishing for you to help others in a way you normally don't. This, what I'm doing right now with you all, this is going to give me an energy buzz for the rest of the day. It's going to get me through the tough news coverage we have for the rest of the day, because it fills my bucket being with other like-minded women. Laughter. It's good for the soul, isn't it? Schedule some time with someone who makes you laugh, or watch something you know that makes you laugh. Gratitude practice. Thanking a higher power, thanking others, thanking yourself. I'm a big believer in journaling. I think it's a way that you can even go back and see your successes and celebrate your successes and what you've come from. So I can give you tons of statistics about how we're living in an age where leaders, workers, and especially women are burnt out. The past few years have been so full of one big event after another, and many of us were moved to take some steps to make our dreams come true. I'm so glad many of us were moved to take those steps to make our dreams come true. It's awesome. But some are not seeing those business dreams become a reality because they are getting burnt out before it happens. So who controls that? You do. You do. It's up to you to make it a priority. Rest is not a luxury. It's required. So make sure you rest so you can be brave, bold, and unstoppable. So here are some self-reflection questions. When was the last time you experienced real rest? Who can you trust to ensure you experience real rest? How do you ensure those you lead experience rest? And what are the signs that indicate you need rest? Think about those. Again, it's not one size fits all. This isn't something you probably haven't heard before, but we need to hear these things. And as you are, obviously you're in a building your business mode, or you wouldn't be on this call. As you're building your business, these are things that you cannot neglect. I would love to connect with you. You can reach out to me on my website and sign up for my blog, Suzanne@SuzanneNadel.com. I've got a free downloadable packet if you sign up for my newsletter. And I am on Instagram every night @SuzNadel, where I share what it's like being a wife, mom, and TV news boss, and the life lessons I have learned from juggling faith, family, and career. So I hope we connect. And Rochelle, as always, thank you for inviting me to be here. In just a moment.
Thank you, Suzanne. She's
My bunny. These are my bunnies.
oh,
These are my bunnies. Not make it up.
love it. Thank you. So there you have it. I mean, Suzanne just dang, she just hit it like just bullseye. And I think it's important for us to understand that as us queens are ebbing and flowing and doing our businesses and being the woman entrepreneurs that we are, it's very important to take care of yourself. As I mentioned before, that is the #1 priority for all of us. It should be, because without your health and well-being, you can't do what you are here to do. And Suzanne has experienced health challenges, which I would not put on even my worst enemy, to have to go through what she's gone through or any of those type of challenges. And so it's important that that you pay attention and absorb the information that she says, because I guarantee you that someone watching this right now, oh, wait a minute, let me say, a few people watching right now are not putting their health and well-being and making that a priority and listening to their body when their body's talking to them. And, oh, let me just do one more thing, oh, let me just take care of this one more person. Oh, and then at the end of the, and then you wonder why you're exhausted, tired, overweight, not feeling good, high blood pressure, all kind of stuff. Yeah, it's very, very important. And so that's why I'm so glad Suzanne was able to join us to bring this message home with regards to being that brave, bold, unstoppable woman, because we all need a reminder, even me, we all need those reminders, and they're very important. So thank you, Suzanne. And that's just a taste of what you're going to get if you come to the live event in Atlanta, Georgia. And so pretty much, that is all I have for you today. I just wanted to give you a taste of what we're going to be talking about, what we're going to be doing. Everything that we shared with you today is something that you can incorporate into your life immediately. My 3 nuggets of gold and the questions thought-provoking questions I asked you, Suzanne's information. This is stuff that you can incorporate. You don't have to wait till tomorrow. You don't have to wait till you come to see us in Atlanta. You don't have to wait till you come to see us in San Francisco, or wherever it may be. You can take this stuff and incorporate it into your life immediately today and pick up those free gifts. Reach out to Suzanne, reach out to me, get those gifts, because those are valuable and it will help you to be that queen walking down the catwalk like Naomi Campbell. And I always say Naomi because I always thought she was the best. And, she probably could still walk the catwalk like nobody's been. No, can't nobody do it like Naomi Campbell. I'm sorry. There's been some great ones. And I love me some Tyra Banks too, but Naomi Campbell commanded that catwalk and can't nobody do it like her. So put on your high heels, ladies, straighten up your crown. And let's do it. Let's be some brave, bold, unstoppable women and support each other on our journeys as we build and expand our business empires. And I guess until next time, or until I see you live or you hop in our sales funnels or whatever, I'm going to wish you peace to your mind, wellness to your body, tranquility to your spirit. And again, you can pick up your tickets. You can go to You can go to www.unstoppable-womens-summit.com, and you can definitely reach out to us, connect with us. It's in the chat for you to find out more about the event. And I'll just keep rambling on. So I'm just going to say thank you all for your time. It's been a beautiful experience being with you today. And we hope to see you soon. And until next time, goodbye for now.